Good morning, and once again welcome to my YouTube channel, Pearson and Excel International Maths by Mr. Kamoto. And we continue to explain Pure Mathematics 1 and of course topic number 8. And in this video we will specifically look at example 2. And in example 2 we are told that the point A with coordinates 416 lies on the curve with equation y is equals to x squared. At point A, the curve has the gradient g. Show that g as h gets to 0 is equals to 8 plus h. And of course, deduce the value of g. We are told that we have a curve that has point A with the coordinates, let's call this point A with the coordinates 4, 16. And the equation of the curve is that y is equals to x squared. At point A, the curve has a gradient of g. It is very, very important to note that from the first principle, we need to give this question an approach of the first principle. And of course, assume we had a point B there, and the coordinates of point, this is, let's call it from here to here is h, and therefore the coordinates of point B is going to be 4 plus h, the x value, and the y value of point B is the function itself upon the value of x at that particular point. So y here should be x squared. And what is x? 4 plus h, which is squared. And those are the coordinates of point B, so to speak. When we need to understand something, we can talk about the gradient going to be the function of 4 plus h minus the function of 4 all over h. And of course, this one might be a bit confusing. I want us to talk about change in y over change in x. Change in y over change in x. And what is this change in y? The gradient becomes change in y. The y value here at point B is 4 plus h squared, of course, minus y1, which is 16, all over change in x, 4 plus h, which is the x value at point B, minus 4, which becomes, of course, it goes without saying, 4 plus h squared. 4 plus h squared is simply 4 plus h multiplied by itself twice. So opening the brackets using FOIL, we have 16 plus 4h plus 4h plus h squared. That is as far as that bracket opening is concerned. So at the end of the day, we're going to have 16 plus 8h plus h squared. Then remember to subtract that 16. Everything over, of course, 4 minus 4 is 0. Everything over h. Definitely 16 and 16 will go, or rather 16 minus 16 is 0. So you'll be left with something that looks like 8h plus h squared over h. And you realize that at the numerator, h is common. So we can talk of that part, the gradient being equals to h into bracket 8 minus h, or rather not minus but plus h, all over h. And of course that cancels with that, and we are going to get 8 plus h. And this is what you're supposed to show in the first part. Show that the gradient, as h tends to 0, the gradient becomes 8 plus h. And that is just like it. Somebody else talks of deduce the value of g. Now, what is the value of g? It is very important now to answer part B of this question with a lot of wisdom, because as h approaches 0, the gradient approaches 8 plus 0, which approaches 0. So as h approaches 0, the gradient, which is 8 plus h, it approaches 8 plus 0. And of course, when 8 plus 0, when the gradient approaches 8 plus 0 is simply when h is 0, 0 plus 8, which means simply 8. So as h approaches 0, you can realize that the gradient itself approaches 8. So yes, the value of the gradient is by itself 8. That is just like it. A very good question. First principle. Very, very good question. Please familiarize with it and let's work together. All right.